So I wake up in the hospital and I have amnesia. And then I find out that I divorced my husband and we have not been together for months. Then I'm told that I have another baby, a girl, that I can't remember giving birth to. Then you guys tell me that I had that baby with another man. And I dated this man and I have no recollection of him. Now you, my mother, are telling me that you've been tracking his phone. He went to the military and you have been tracking his location ever since. Tell me why I shouldn't be upset. I know you don't want to hear it, but everything that Joey did to you made me into that person. I would have never thought to track someone's phone before him. You're my daughter. I will go to great lengths to protect you. And there were things about Brian's past that didn't sit right with me. And he was always going away, and I wanted to know where he was. And I just didn't see no harm in tracking his phone. It was just to protect you, because every day I vividly had images of something happening to you. That I was gonna get a call that you... I don't know. From what you told me about this man, he barely drank, never laid a hand on me. We supposedly had a good relationship aside from arguing a lot. Yes, he was charged with manslaughter, but I'm no legal expert here. Being charged and sent to jail for it are two very different things. So I'm assuming it went to trial and he cleared his name. Regardless of all of that, I think there's fundamentally something wrong with you tracking someone's phone and then not even telling me that you're doing it. Well, okay, I was right a little bit, because he abandoned you. None of us saw that coming. Aren't you a little curious why he did? Forget his journal. I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. Don't you want to know what he's doing now? It kills me that another man did this to you. No, Mom. I have zero interest in the location of the man who abandoned me. If I was struggling and needed child support, maybe. But even if I remembered what we had and all those memories, I know myself. And I wouldn't be chasing after this man or wondering where he is or anything like that. Even if I loved him, I know myself. Once you abandon me, we're done. Okay. Go ahead. Say it. I'm being a hypocrite. Because Joey abandoned me and I'm with him. You already said it. But I brought this up because I just wanted to know if I could go see him myself. Have a few words with him. I didn't want to hide this from you. You're not going to go confront him by yourself, and there's no need for that. We need to set better standards for ourselves in this family and stop acting like it's Jerry Springer. I also don't want to mislead people. There's no ignoring the fact that we have cameras in our life and we have people that follow us. Every time you talk about the second baby daddy, you lead people on to thinking that he's going to be in my life again, or I want him back, or there's things that are not tied up, like loose ends. There's no loose ends with this man. He is out of my life. I have no interest in being around him. I don't want him in my daughter's life. He abandoned me. I need, just like my amnesia and talking about that till we're blue in the face. We need to let this man go. You can't say that though. This man has a daughter with you. He may want to be in her life one day. He owes you child support. There's tax. I know. But we don't need to talk about it today. Okay? If he ever wants to come back and be in my daughter's life, that's a bridge we'll cross when we get to it. But right now, no need to even acknowledge that this man exists. You say that confidently, a little cocky, because a week, a month, a year, 10 years from now, you may just be going about your day and you may remember this wonderful moment with your second baby daddy, and that will change your perspective on everything. And by then, who knows who you'll be with and where your life will be. And it may not be so hard to dismiss him and pretend that he doesn't exist. And coming from a woman who really didn't like him, I don't wish that upon you. But could happen. That's all I'm saying. You know, maybe they're not such a bad prison if they're offering you psychiatric evaluations and stuff. I'm just surprised that that's what they're labeling you. Don't take it to heart, because you could always leave the prison and get a second opinion. You know what I mean? So the prison diagnosed your brother with intermittent explosive disorder. What the hell is that? I've never even heard of that. Apparently, it's a mental health condition that's characterized by sudden and intense bouts of anger and aggression that's out of proportion to the situation. I memorized that, so when people ask me, I don't sound like an idiot. Well, I can't say that I'm surprised, but I'm also surprised, because I guess I just look at my brother as a douchebag. I never take into consideration that there could be something wrong with his brain. They also diagnosed him with severe bipolar disorder. Well, I guess now me and Joey have something in common, because my therapist had diagnosed me with that too. Then I saw another therapist and they said I didn't have that. So I don't know. See, this is the problem when people don't go to therapy and they go undiagnosed for however long. See, you took the initiative. And I'm not giving Joey any excuse. Be careful to give his behaviors an excuse. Because it's one thing to have a mental health issue, but a lot of the stuff that he did cannot be attributed to IED, if that's the right abbreviation, or bipolar disorder. There's plenty of people who are bipolar that don't stalk people or request receipts for child support. Okay, but his anger, the way that he handles things sometimes, clearly there's something wrong, and he should have gotten help. Yeah. I once had a friend who his wife cheated on him, and he passed it off as her demons. I just don't want you to do the same thing. I'm not doing that. I'm just giving you the facts. I'm really not giving him any excuses or anything like that. I'm just saying some bouts of anger that he had could be attributed to his mental health. It's just a shame that he went so long not being diagnosed and not getting help. Because who knows how much better he could have been. One thing's for certain, our mom is definitely the reason that Joey and I should have been in therapy the second we hit first grade. Well, don't say it like you're pointing fingers. Can't help those types of things. I don't mean it as like she raised us terrible or anything like that, although she could have been better there. I say it because she, well, you don't remember, but she was institutionalized and went through her own things. So I think she definitely passed on a gene or something to us. Yeah, so that's what the prison diagnosed him with, plus bipolar disorder. It's all hooey. I'm not having a prison therapist diagnose my son as much as I have my issues with him. This is probably someone who got their GED and went through some sort of certificate program. No, I think they're probably right based on his behavior. Joey's just an idiot who does not have a handle on his emotions. There's nothing deeper than it. There's no psychoanalysis. He's not bipolar, and that stuff doesn't exist. Mom, you can't stand there and tell me that, mental health I may have been in programs and put up with stupidity from people in white coats, but that was just to get medication so that I felt better, and it worked. But no one, in a white coat with their certificate is going to tell me what's wrong with my kid. Okay? I take responsibility for whatever problems he has, but no one's going to diagnose his brain and say he inherited something from his parents or whatever the case may be. I am so sick of your generation putting a label on everything. If someone punches the wall, they're angry. They're not suffering from something. All right. Why are you getting so, upset about this? It has nothing really, no one said anything about you. You bust your butt to raise a child, and you put food on the table, and you break your back doing so, and then they grow up with problems, and it always falls back on the parent, and it's always a diagnosis, and you should have gotten them this help and that help, and you shouldn't have fed them this or that when you were just trying to survive. I don't need to hear from some pretentious person in a coat telling me what I did wrong with my child, whether they're a prison doctor or a Harvard doctor. I don't care. Leave my family alone. In every other class, my son has done exceptional with grades and behavior, and I'm not putting you down as a teacher, but maybe you need to ask yourself whether or not what you're teaching is connecting to him. Because I've heard from other parents that their kids also are not grasping what you were talking about during the day. So before you tell him that he needs tutoring, and before you tell me that I have to do all these things, maybe we should talk about your lesson plan. Victor, I just want to let you know. Remember what we were talking about with Brian's location and me tracking it? Well, I told Miranda and I was right. She's against it. But, I'm gonna go to the phone's location. I want to talk to him.
Hey Martha, today I read on the internet that around 40% of people share their location with their significant other. But I don't know how true that is though.